The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, but they face a second and long to start things out.
Hey, you got three.
Here's Flacco. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now it's Flacco underneath to Allen. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Roethlisberger. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers at first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The veteran Jimmy Smith there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he comes back with one complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And the quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that. And
Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick, But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Second down, Flacco now. To the right side and complete to Hurst. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Flacco off play action. And this is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
With it is Brown. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, first and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Brandon Carr on the coverage there.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll begin in the AFC at First Energy Stadium, as Kansas City is in the land to take on Cleveland. And it's the Browns who are out on top. The Browns trying to end this first half of the year on a positive note. Though at 1-6, they have a lot of work to do going forward. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Tampa Bay Bucks. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And that one's gone to the half with the visiting Bears on top. Jordan Howard, a touchdown run in that first half. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. His guys lead it at the break as we send you back up to Baltimore and Brandon Gotten. Brandon.
All right, Coach.